bucks on that doe, man. They're fighting right now about 50 yards back in the cedars. Let's go. There's a first big, tall, tiny 10 point that came through following that doe, and then another 10 point came in. Pretty good buck too. I couldn't, like, just about to shoot him, I just couldn't get him to stop. God dang. I don't think we gotta go anywhere.
About 5 minutes later, after we listened to the 2 bucks square off not more than 50 yards back in the cedars, a third buck came along on the trail of the same doe. Now, while this little buck certainly wasn't going to be a contender for the doe's affections, whatever he did back in the cedars made her decide to come back past our stand one last time. Once again, this buck was so hot on the trail of that doe that I couldn't get him stopped, even at 20 yards. As it often happens in these situations, time kind of slows down, and your brain doesn't always make the right choices. I took the shot on the move just before he was about to jump the fence, and immediately knew I had hit him way too far back. I immediately nocked another arrow, but as he walked slowly away through the trees, I never got another shot opportunity that I thought I could make. I knew he was hit hard, and really thought if we didn't spook him, he would bed up within 100 yards.
I think he's bedded right in there.
About an hour after we'd last seen him, we got down out of the stand quietly and backed out of the area to assess the situation.
Hi. Well, Kyle, how many days have you hunted this year?
40.
Kyle's hunted 40 days. I just flew in from Florida last night and, well, got an arrow and a buck after about 6 hours.
I put him in my
really
best
odd.
stand.
Yes, no, I didn't make a very good shot. We had just something crazy. We had a hot doe come in with 3 different bucks following her, 10 minutes apart. The biggest buck was trailing him first, and they didn't give us a shot. And the second one was coming in and didn't give me a very good shot, and then I couldn't get it stopped. And then another little dink come in. And about 10 minutes after that, the doe led the big one back around. After the big two had a fight back behind us, about 50, 60 yards back in the cedars, we could hear him, and came on out, and I just couldn't get him stopped. It just freaking, that's just crazy.
All at noon.
So the doe had jumped the fence, and the buck was just about to, and I took the shot while he was still moving and hit him way far back. It's basically a gut shot. So he moved off real slow. We can see he's hit hard. So we're gonna back out, go to lunch for a couple hours, come back in, probably sit that stand for Kyle this afternoon, and then later tonight start going through that tree row real slow looking for him. And we don't get very far, don't find him, come back tomorrow.
Tell them what you were doing the first time the buck came by, Brian.
Well, the first time the buck came by, we saw the doe, and we'd been talking about it, and I immediately started sliding my boot off to throw at the doe because we wanted to get a shot of an actual live boot toss at a deer. And then, so I had the boot halfway off, and And right about the time I think, I wonder if there's a buck following this girl, Kyle says, hey, there's a buck behind it, and it's a big one. And I look, and there's a shooter buck, so then I'm trying to twist myself around. I've got my right boot, like, halfway on like this, and I'm like trying to keep it from falling off and maneuver around to get a shot, but it didn't work, so. But he came back in, he just didn't want to give us a good shot, but poor shot, but we're going to wait a good while on him, and feel pretty confident we can find him. We'll get him. You know, it's not many little diners you can go into where you can dress like this and still match the decor. This is the Camo Cafe. Look at that. Like, that matches so well. It's like your hand is part of the booth. Got some mossy oak. We got some real tree. This is definitely the coolest cafe I've ever been in.
That's for sure.